Because if there's one thing I know about Eastside Dave, it's when you get drunk, if you open your wallet and you see cash, you have to give it to people.
It's gone.
Yeah,
it's gone.
Hand it to people. And
there was no reason for the money to have ever been in the wallet in the first place.
Right. You're just handing people $20 bills, and they take it.
Yeah, it's really it's the problem with paper money, I've discovered. It's just so goddamn light. That's why, if this was the olden times where, like, we had to carry around shillings, if eeach shilling, if a dollar was like a little pebble, the way it used to be, people would be carrying around $10 because it would just be too heavy.
Right, but I mean, that's
so
why
much better.
That's why people need more than $10. So that would be why the paper money was made.
Not
because
me.
You can't get a lot with $10. But I didn't learn this, but evidence of you just doling out the cash was actually 2 Mondays ago.
Oh, golly. This was when we saw
if
Monday
you remember,
Night is Raw,
the last special delivery show, we made a big deal that Dave was going to Monday Night Raw with me at Madison Square Garden. Now, we went, Dave.
We did go.
Do you remember?
Yes, I do.
Did you have a good time?
I had a great time.
People need to realize
it was fantastic. I actually hadn't been to a wrestling show since I was 6 years old. Asbury Park, New Jersey Convention Center had some rinky-dink independent league that somehow got Sergeant Slaughter and no one else. There was one guy there called Tony the Tiger.
Right.
They actually had a wrestler named after a cereal mascot.
Which I'm sure they paid zero rights for.
Yeah, it was very shitty, but I did get to see Sergeant Slaughter.
But this is the first time you've been in decades at this point.
Literally decades, yeah.
Over 20 years.
Literally 2 decades. So that would...
And you got to see...
right with the pluralization of decades.
Right. You got to see your hero. Roddy Piper was the guest host of Raw.
That was it.
So
There's
it was just
two guys. Old school is Piper, and then the new school, when it's WWE Raw's War, Mick Foley. Those are my 2 favorites.
And so this was, it was a giant night. Unfortunately...
It was huge. It was a great night.
Dave...
Great. What?
When you go to a sporting event or any type of show or a concert, that's how wrestling gets in on the sporting event, show, or concert. Pro wrestling is there. There's always the drunk fan.
That's right, buddy.
And maybe he ruins it, and maybe he makes it better. For me, in this instance, the drunk fan made my night better.
Oh, excellent.
Because,
excellent.
The entertainment that
Who was this drunk fan? Are you talking about me?
Eastside Dave was the drunk fan.
Oh, my.
The entertainment that you provided me that night was on par with the action that was going on in the ring. Just cheering from the bleachers. I don't even know where to begin. You had 7 to 9 beers.
Yeah, there.
At the show.
I pre-gamed as well.
You did? Okay, yes. I was thinking that because on the way to the event, you stopped by a magazine stand.
Yeah.
And you haggled your way into a free pouch of Raisinets, which you didn't even want. You gave to me.
No, I didn't. I didn't want them at all. I love to barter when I'm intoxicated.
Yeah.
With street vendors. It's a fucking sickness that I have.
So you're there, you got your free Raisinets.
Yeah, that was great.
The first thing you do...
You got the free Raisinets.
I know.
What are you complaining about?
I enjoyed them. You also bought me and you bought 2 packs of peanuts at Madison Square Garden because you wanted to share peanuts with your buddy.
That was great.
Me and you eating our peanuts together.
That was fun. We both had matching peanuts. I like to match snacks with people.
866-WOW1-WOW, 866-969-1969 if you have an experience with the drunk fan that you liked or didn't like at a show. You also bought a turkey club that you didn't have any use for.
That was great.
I
didn't even know why they were selling turkey sandwiches at a wrestling show. But they had fucking clubs, wrestling fucking hoagies there.
They weren't wrestling hoagies. They were just hoagies at a wrestling show.
Because for some reason I was like, I'll take the Bobby Heenan turkey.
Yeah, they didn't know what you were talking about.
Hold the Lord Alfred Hayes mayo. And the guy was like, okay, I get it. I'm a vendor at a wrestling show. You're not funny. I was like, no, but don't you understand? I want the Cocoa Big Beware pepper on it.
And you held the sandwich to your heart while they were doing the national anthem.
It was great. I loved it. I love having food close to me. Not necessarily even eating it. Just I like having it around me.
And what people need to understand, too, wrestling in this day and age has changed to what a lot of you listening may have thought it was. It's not the ruckus, 20 to 30-year-old men drinking, looking at half-naked women, cursing and going crazy. They changed it to a very family-oriented show.
Well, when did this happen? I mean,
it's been a work in progress for some time.
Well, but it's still called Raw is War.
It's
called
It's called Raw.
Then go back and call it. What was it? It used to be called Superstars, right?
No, Primetime Wrestling is what this. But it's just called Raw now.
Okay, so don't call it Raw anymore.
Why?
Because if it's not going to be, Raw, then don't call it that.
I mean, you got there and you even said to me, "What are all these kids doing here?"
Yeah,
it was a lot of kids.
I was really shocked at how many children. Well, for starters, it was well after 9 o'clock on a Monday, and I'm like, "What the hell?" I mean, don't they have school?
It's a kid's show, and you took it upon yourself. I mean, I don't even know. I'm just mixing all these stories together because they're all short stories. But there was a family sitting in front of us.
Yeah, right.
They went to take a picture. The father tried to take a picture of the mother and their son.
Right.
At least 10 times throughout the evening.
Yeah.
Every single picture had a drunk Eastside Dave hanging over the rail.
Getting in the picture.
And smiling in the picture.
I want to be included.
Every single time they went to take this picture.
E-Rock was there.
Sam, you forgot also that she got to the point where she just moved her family out of the way and just started videotaping Dave, and she said, "Let's go," and Dave just starts dancing and yelling.
Yes.
Like, Randy Orton's not nice, and you're just screaming and pointing.
You didn't know who any of these wrestlers were.
No, I certainly didn't know who Randy fucking Orton was.
And the thing is,
back in my day, everyone was a character.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Piper had his kilt and shit, and there were, like, guys dressed up in bee costumes.
Yeah, the Killer Bees.
But everyone these days, their names are just plain.
That's true.
Like Randy Orton. It's like, "Hi, my name is Fred Williams." Oh, great.
Great. Like we're supposed to get behind you.
My name is Fred Williams, and my finishing move is called finishing move. Not a lot of creativity.
You are also seemingly the only person in the entire Madison Square Garden who showed up to see Piper.
Yeah, I know. What the hell was with these people?
I mean, you could hear a pin drop when Piper came out, except for Eastside Dave screaming his Piper impression.
Oh, Piper.
No, Sam, you remember, Dave does that silent scream like a child when they're really upset. It just starts going, and then he starts pointing and screaming really loud.
Well, Dave's Piper impression started while we were all, like, cattle herded in the entranceway where it's very hot and sweaty. Everybody's touching, trying to get into Madison Square Garden. And Dave started doing Piper impressions. Nobody knew what he was doing.
Right, yeah.
Everybody just looked at him. And
I don't understand. It sounded fine to me.
He had to do the quiet. That was Piper.
No, wait a second. This is a great... Listen. "Oh, no, you come in here. You come in here, and I'm going to hit you with the coconut Jimmy Snooker."
Some of Dave's excitement was able to be captured, though. I recorded you. The audio is a little shaky because it was on my BlackBerry. But
now, I just realized that maybe I'm not doing Piper. Maybe I'm doing Pacino and Scarface.
That's probably a little better.
Oh, no. Say hello to my little friend, AJ Adonis.
You actually sound more like Pacino and Dog Day Afternoon when you do that.
Oh, no. Sal, Wyoming's not a state.
But this is Eastside Dave cheering. Roddy Piper was out there, and Randy Orton turned on him, which you didn't like.
I was extremely upset about that. Randy Orton is a lot younger, a lot bigger, stronger. I didn't understand why he would beat up good old Roddy Piper. It fucking pissed me off.
And so, in a sea of small children, you bent down and started screaming in their ears.
Don't do it, you fucking asshole!
See, right there is a problem. You're shouting at Randy Orton.
Don't do it. I'm actually saying don't do it. And then he can hear me when we're like up 80 rows back.
And then using profanity, too.
Don't do it, you fucking asshole! He's going to kick him. Oh, Kobe Kingston! Go get him, Roddy! Who the hell is this black guy?
And all the parents are turning around and staring at you.
Well, wait. Let me just say this. That was a legitimate question. Who the hell was the black guy?
That was Kofi Kingston.
Oh, Kofi Kingston?
Yes. He's being pushed right now.
Another crazy, wacky name, huh?
He's like a Jamaican guy. He's not Jamaican
anymore. His first name
anymore.
and his last name, Kofi Kingston.
Go get him running! Who the hell is this black guy? That's Kofi Kingston. Get him running! Sleeper hold his ass! Tell that black guy to get him in the sleeper hold, man. Roddy will finish him off.
So you're shouting, tell that black guy to get Roddy in a sleeper hold.
That's a legitimate point.
Eric, you were there with us.
Yeah.
Did you feel uncomfortable as every single parent was turning around and staring at Dave as if this is a kid's show? What are you doing?
Well, I don't know if you have any more audio during this segment with Kofi.
I do.
All right. I don't want to spoil it, but when Dave saw Kofi about to go through the table, it's when parents got horrified.
I don't know for sure. If I don't have it, you could tell it in a minute. But here's more of Eastside Dave cheering. Now, Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton were fighting now.
Yeah, I know.
Piper got one hit in.
Yep.
But then he got kind of just thrown out.
Yeah.
But you, in the Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton battle, you cheered Piper.
I was cheering Piper.
Yeah.
Well, I was still stuck on the fact that Randy Orton body slammed him.
It wasn't right.
Roddy Piper's on the ground. What? Tell Roddy Piper to get that black guy to fucking get him in the head.
This is all shouting over children and families.
And then we'll sleeper hold his ass like Adrian thought. Oh no! There we go, there you go. Randy Orton just beat up Piper. He's a jerk, Sammy! He's not nice! I don't appreciate people who are nice, Sammy! I want to root for heroes! Go, Bill Colby! Oh, come on, Colby!
Is this news to you?
Let me just say this.
Okay.
I don't know why I haven't gotten a job as a sportscaster. That was brilliant commentary and analysis.
Matthew Ryan, if you were at a wrestling show, you love wrestling.
Yes.
If you were at a wrestling show, would this guy ruin it for you? Not Eastside Dave. Some guy who obviously does not watch the program. He's not familiar with what's going on, but he still insists on screaming louder than anybody.
Now, what Dave did, it's not the first or the last time I've seen that. I've seen people a lot drunker and a lot more violent than Dave.
Yeah, I wasn't violent, was I, Sammy?
I've seen it at,
you weren't
legitimate
violent.
kids shows where it's you can't curse, you can't do anything. Where fights almost broke out because one guy was drunk and almost legitimately punched me in the face.
Okay.
Sorry, man. I didn't mean to do that. I was going to. I got what you're saying. Jason in Buffalo, you're on special delivery. He was at.
Hey, how's it going, guys? What's up, Sam? What's up, Dave?
What's up, Jason?
All right, we had Raw up here in Buffalo not too long ago, and I was there, and a buddy of mine was with me, and he just started throwing up all over the place. He was so shit-faced, and he just got puke all over, like, half the people that sit next to, like, 3 or 4 people sit next to us, all over their clothes and stuff. A most embarrassing time in my life.
See, I was also in Buffalo about a month back.
Yeah, well, and that's neither here nor there. But on this night, you did not puke anybody.
No, I rarely throw up
However,
when I'm intoxicated.
You were not done cheering during this portion of the show. That's Eastside Dave.
That was me?
That's you.
Well, there you go. I have a very limber, gold-throated voice, don't I?
I don't know what's going on.
Did you hear the little kid laughing? Yeah. If you listen closely, you can hear a small child laughing and Dave screaming.
I look like a clown to most children.
Yeah, and
I physically have the appearance of one, and so when they see me all drunkenly go insane, they go, "Oh, look at that! There's a no makeup clown behind me."
I don't know what's going on, Sammy, but he's up, Sam! He's up! Fuck off! Get up! I think he went out after a cameraman there. Yeah! Kobe Bryant just killed him! It's not Kobe Bryant.
You call Kobe Kingston Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant, I think. Yeah.
No, you said Kobe Bryant.
I called him Kobe Bryant. Okay.
You insisted on saying Kobe.
I mean, some might construe that as slightly racist, but
yeah,
it was because of the Kobe thing.
E-Rock, yes.
This was also the point where those two teenage girls sitting on the other side to Dave just kept turning around and yelling at him to shut up. You're ruining this.
They said you're ruining this. That's the thing. Like, for some reason...
It's wrestling, for Christ's sakes.
But, like...
Well, am I not supposed to cheer?
When you take a sports fan, like a hardcore sports fan, like somebody like an Eastside David McDonald...
I am a hardcore sports fan.
If you take him to a wrestling show, he'll watch the wrestling show only if it's live. He'll never watch a wrestling show on television.
No.
But if you take him there live, he'll act the same way he would act at a sporting event.
Yeah, well, no, I mean... At baseball games, I never get drunk when I go see a baseball game.
Oh, really?
I've been drunk maybe 2 or 3 times out of, like, going to 100, because my parents used to have Yankee season tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been to about 100 games. I've probably been hammered, like, 3 times. Football, I did get fucked up a couple weekends ago, but that was because it was, like, a birthday gift.
Okay.
Basketball, I don't get fucked up for. Actually, most sporting events, I don't drink. Concerts, I do, and then this... I hate to bother. I mean, I hate to insult you here. It's not an insult. I don't think you will find. But wrestling to me is more akin to a rock concert than a sporting event.
It's fine. It's a show.
Yeah, it's a show. So I'm gonna get. I get screwy for rock concerts. Might as well get screwy for wrestling.
Like,
that's the way I felt.
For me, because I was sitting next to you, I was highly entertained the whole time.
Yeah.
But I've sat in front of people like you, and have been thoroughly annoyed the whole time.
But there are certain places where you can act the fool, as they say in rap, in public. A rock concert, you're not going to go there and tell if you go to a Pearl Jam concert and some jackass is screaming Jeremy, I don't think you're really going to get pissed off at the guy. You're just going to leave, or you're going to move to a different section.
Yeah.
To me, this was the same thing in wrestling.
Now,
I don't think I was out of line.
Now, that maybe not out of line, but E-Rock...
I'm going to do it again tomorrow.
I'll tell you the truth. I want to take you to another wrestling show.
Oh, I'm going.
I had a great time with you.
I had much more fun than I anticipated.
Yeah.
I actually think I get a little bit irritated by the wrestling announcers.
Really?
Yes. Not necessarily Jim Ross, but just the color commentator, who, no matter who he is, kind of bothers me.
Now, E-Rock, Dave says he didn't go over the line, but we haven't gotten to the point when he almost got into a fight at the very end of the night.
I'm trying to remember that part.
When he stood up a bit quick with the sandwich in his hand.
Oh, yeah. But there's 2 other things before that happened.
Okay, of course.
Oh, God.
Okay, at one point, it was they had stuff going on, but in TV language, it was dark. So TV wasn't live, but what was going on in the ring was live.
Oh.
Dave went, I think, to go to the bathroom, and it took forever. We're like, where the hell is Dave? Dave comes stumbling back, double-fisting these huge beers.
Yeah.
Apparently some fans recognized Dave as he was coming out of the bathroom and said, hey, let's buy you a drink. So Dave goes, buy me 2.
That is an Eastside Dave McDonald trait.
That's a terrible thing, yeah.
That's vintage Eastside Dave.
I feel like, because when I get liquored up, I'm generous. I feel like I command generosity out of others when it's probably inappropriate to do so.
So whoever those fans were, thank you for buying Dave those beers, if he didn't thank you himself.
No, I'll say thank you.
Before you get to the other thing, I like this one. John in Texas, you're on Special Delivery starring Sam and Dave.
Hey, boys. Glad to hear you love the show.
Thank you.
I was at a Dallas Cowboy game with my brother, and, needless to say, he was drinking all day long, and he got so drunk that he had to pee. Well, instead of going to the bathroom, he pulled out, his cock and pissed in the damn beer bottle that he had.
Oh, I've done that.
In the middle of the stadium.
I've done that a million times.
And it overflew, too, man. It was a...
Oh. Your seat at the stadium?
I did at a Pogues show.
Thank you, John.
On St. Patty's Day, I did not. It was
like a standing room only type of
standing room in Roseland, and we were right there, right in the middle. And I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking walk all the way back to bed. No way.
Hey, Sam,
you're dirt.
I pissed right in the cup.
You're just a dirtball. Yeah, E-Rock.
Just a tease. Dave P. story coming up a little later.
Oh, great.
Oh, good.
But so what's this, so let's get to the juicy Dave almost got into a fight because I've seen you almost get into many fights.
Yeah. I usually am able to avoid it.
Because you're so silly.
Yeah, I just
You're funny. You're lovable.
Just
Yeah.
lighten up, mister. And I didn't do it on purpose. I know what you were going to say. It was a fucking, like, 3-way hardcore sex match or something.
I don't know if that's what it was.
And there was, I don't know what they call it in wrestling, but The Undertaker had to fight Triple H.
It was a triple threat match.
Okay, yeah. And so it was so exciting. I stood up and I went, yeah, rooting for The Undertaker. And my sandwich just flew out of my hand like the fucking ape throwing the bone at the beginning of 2001 Space Odyssey.
Now, this was the same sandwich that you had no desire for. Like, you just bought it.
I love holding on to food.
Yeah, he was palming this for 2 hours and never ate it.
You had it all night in its plastic case.
Yeah.
You decided to take it out of the plastic case.
Right.
You were cheering.
It was like it was like a foam finger.
And but you let go of the sandwich.
I didn't mean to. It slipped. I tried to explain it to the gentleman. I go,
Eric, wait.
Who would just throw it?
And what happened, Eric?
Well, all right, you had left at this point, I'm stuck taking care of Dave. And
yeah, that's my other move.
I spilled water all over
That's my other move. One of my favorite things to do is to hang out with drunk Eastside Dave and slip out at the very last second. So I don't miss any of the fun, but I also don't have to take care of you.
Yeah, no one has to take care. I mean, E-Rock.
I mean, Pat Fubunaki did.
Actually, anytime this has happened, it's always the same thing. I'm somehow left with E-Rock.
And he gets pissed off.
He gets very upset.
So, E-Rock, what happened?
All right, so the whole thing's over, and the Undertaker's, does his little kneeling thing, holding the belt. The lights go, the lightning goes. Dave jumps up and goes, yeah, like Undertaker, yeah.
I was happy he won.
But the way this happened was almost like a cartoon.
I know, but
the lettuce and part of the turkey from the sandwich shoots straight up, and as Dave's going, yeah, comes straight down and hits the guy right in front of him.
Yeah.
And this is a guy, by the way, you've been holding loosely to your sandwich box all night.
Right.
Lettuce had been falling out onto the seats in front of us.
Right. That's not my fault. And then the sandwich slipped. As I tried to explain to the gentleman in front of me, what right-minded person on the face of the planet is going to throw a sandwich at another human? Besides Tiger Woods' wife, this shit don't happen.
The guy was yelling at you, and he's like, I've been dealing with your shit all night.
Well, so what?
Matt, in New Jersey, you're on special delivery starring Sam and Dave. We're talking about getting drunk at, well, in this case, pro wrestling shows, but any event.
Well, I wanted to see if you're going to take Dave to another pro wrestling event. Are you familiar with Ring of Honor?
Yes.
These are the most stuck-up wrestling fans on the face of the planet who, defend Chris Benoit for what he did because he's such a good wrestler.
What league?
It's called Ring of Honor.
That's the name of the league?
Yeah, thank you, Matt. That's actually a great call. The league is called Ring of Honor. Matt Ryan's a big Ring of Honor fan. If you get dismayed at the lack of characters in WWE,
yeah,
Matt, are there any characters in Ring of Honor? Without going too deep, I know you have a tendency.
Not really. There's a lumberjack, but outside of that, not really.
It's just people's real names, and they're just plain colored tights. It's like watching wrestling in the 50s.
Why?
But it's for the pure wrestling enthusiasts.
That's silly.
Like, that don't really want to admit that this is not a sport. It's for the wrestling enthusiasts, and they are serious. There's no families at these shows.
Ugh.
These are all Matt Ryans at these shows.
Yeah, I don't.
Is that fair?
Basically.
Yes.
Who wants to go to a show full of Matt Ryans?
No offense to you, Matt Ryan. Of course.
No. Actually, there was a lot of offense.
Okay.
Intended there.
Take it all then. Take that.
No, Matt Ryan. No more.
Okay.
Now listen.
But this is what we have to take you to.
I don't want to go there.
No.
I want to see.
But
guys
I'll be with you.
Crazy robes and shit.
But I'll be getting you all jacked up. Yeah. And then all these fans will want to kill you for ruining their serious wrestling experience.
Right, but I think, I don't actually want to get into a real fist fight.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's not my thing. I think actually, if I had to go somewhere, wouldn't you think I would thrive in ECW? I don't even know if that's still around.
In the old school ECW, you would get murdered.
Oh, really?
They
wouldn't like me there either. Drunk?
They would cut you up.
The fucking guys they had 8 guys whose gimmick was that they were drunk.
But they took themselves very seriously.
Oh, all right, I'm not going there either.
Matt Ryan?
Oh,
man, you blew your shot. You are the layman. You have Matt. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this with love. You don't have a future.
Thank you.
But go on.
He hit himself in the head with the microphone. In case people are wondering why.
I'm going to a show in December called Cage of Death.
Right.
Dave,
where is it?
It's in Philadelphia at the ECW Arena. Would you want to go?
Possibly.
No.
Who's driving?
Dave, you don't want to go. This is one of these, like, even more extreme than the old ECW, hitting each other with light bulbs and whatnot. Like, they're the people who they're so small, they're not above going out. A wrestler will come out and just stab you. Like, you know what I mean? They're crazy people.
I'll go if Sam and E-Rock go.
No, we're sticking to WWE.
Okay.
That's safe.
That's what I like anyway.
E-Rock, any other Eastside David horror stories?
While at the event, no. This was about the time we were deciding to leave. Mm-hmm. We were going down the stairs. There's a big crowd, and we're right by the side entrance. So we're like, all right, we can get out here. And Dave goes, no, I need to get a Roddy Piper T-shirt.
Which I told you earlier in the night.
I should have gotten
There were none. No, I told you at 9:30.
There were no shirts?
There's no Hot Rod shirts here.
I misheard you.
Okay.
And Dave goes, no, wait, there's a merch thing at the front of the garden. Let's go. And he starts taking off into the crowd.
You're so inconvenient, Dave.
Yeah.
So we're walking from
smart.
the other end of the garden back to the front of the garden to leave, and we get to the merch section, and I go, Dave, they don't have any Roddy Piper. And he looked and he goes, yeah, I think Sam told me that.
See what happens.
Okay, wait. I do want to say this. The black Roddy Piper shirt, the black one that says Hot Rod. I want a black one, though.
Okay.
That says Hot Rod. I put it on my Amazon wish list.
You're a pandering fool
I'm just
right
saying,
now.
Look up my Amazon wish list, folks. David McDonald.
You're a real asshole.
Yeah, I know.
You're a real asshole.
I'm just saying.
Redding from Whackbag. He's probably also on our top 10 listeners list.
Oh, sure.
He makes some of the best photoshops of Sam and Dave. Redding from Whackbag. You're on special delivery starring Sam and Dave.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I actually went to a Nitro. This was like how many years ago? Jeez, it was like mid NWO time, and it was like right in front of us. These two guys, these two dark gentlemen had purchased, had snuck in 240s of like Old English, and were just pounding them in the arena.
Yeah. And
at one point, the guy was like stumbling around. He turned to my friend, pointed at him like the classic Hulk Hogan, like the type thing. And he's like, you, me, cage match, and starts walking towards the ring.
That's what you got to do, Dave. Thank you, Redding.
Thank you.
We got to get you in the ring one of these days.
I want to be into the wrestling. Oh, I had a character too. Remember I told you that?
No, I don't. There's a lot of that night. That's a blur. But if we got front row seats, is there a possibility you try to hop the rail at one point?
No, I mean, I don't want to get kicked out.
You don't understand how close front row seats are. I've sat in the front row once.
Yeah, I wouldn't screw around.
All right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would be fucking hammered. But I would not buy a turkey sandwich. That I can promise you.
You'd be dropping the turkey on the wrestlers who are on the floor. Get up! Throw your bread at him.
Turkey!
Colin in Rochester, you're on special delivery starring Sam and Dave.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, dude?
I'm actually a professional wrestler.
What's your name? What's your professional wrestling name?
Colin Delaney.
Come on,
Colin Delaney.
Colin.
He was on TV.
Oh, really?
Used to wrestle on ECW.
Yeah.
Sam knows who you are.
Yeah.
All right, rock
Wait,
on. Yeah.
do you know Balls Mahoney?
I do.
Look at that. If this is the real Colin Delaney, I'm very excited right now.
Because I know Balls Mahoney, too.
This is a real Colin Delaney from Rochester, New York.
Awesome.
I actually was at a local show here in Rochester not too long ago, and a fan got a little drunk and decided to get a little handsy and took a swipe at my face, so I had to punch him in the face and knock him out.
See, Dave,
shit.
You're going to get knocked out if you act a fool.
I'm not going to act a fool, Colin.
Colin Delaney, please feel free to call into our show anytime.
Hey, big fan of the show.
I'm a big fan of yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Colin.
Thank you.
Colin Delaney's a big star. That's a celebrity.
I told you my Balls Mahoney thing, right?
Yeah, at the hospital?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done that before.
I
Colin
don't
Delaney, that's a celebrity phone call.
That was?
Yeah, definitely.
File that under the Billy Mitchell category right there. The Billy Mitchell celebrity file.
Dave.
So far, it's just Billy Mitchell and Colin Delaney.
Colin Delaney, but that's a good thing.
We
Dave,
named the file after Billy Mitchell, though.
the Billy Mitchell
He's
celebrity.
He's the first.
We've got still a lot of stuff to do here tonight. When we get back,
What are we going to do when we get back? Because I think the people are going to like it.
the challenge was thrown down to find out who is the special delivery movie guy.
Okay.
Is it Eastside Dave or is it Kent the movie guy? There's some controversy with Kent.
Oh.
And callers, you better have your dialing fingers ready. We might have to open this bad boy up. It's Special Delivery starring Sam and Dave.
Do you like getting beat with a garden hose? Special Delivery with Sam and Dave will be right back on The Virus, Sirius 197, XM 202.